We know that you guys are coming up with a documentary on Leander Paes and Mahesh Bhupathi. Now, everybody has been talking about that. It has been a talking point. But tell me one thing, how did you convince these two to come together, sign something like this, and go ahead with it?
So honestly, it is, I think, a humble gratitude is because it was Mahesh Bhupathi and Leander Paes who decided, who have been following our work for a very long time and approached and wanted us to tell their story in a docudrama way. So again, this happened during the pandemic in last March, where the whole of the pandemic we were doing Zoom chats, and I also guess maybe they will be the right people to talk to from their own experiences. I think they were just finding the right voices to tell their story truthfully with the right warmth and relationships and psychology of these two people. So they chose us, and so yeah, and it's also the first time Nitesh and me are co-directing. Almost finished in post-production stage now. Yeah, so it's a learning experiences because they're also a doubles champion, the world's, like, India's best double champions, and there's so much to learn from them, and I think they trusted us to tell their story, and we took it because it was the pandemic, and we just felt that what better way to use our time talking to the one of the best minds in sports. So we completely wrote it during the pandemic, and as soon as the pandemic opened, we shot, like, we remotely shot. We have done a lot of remote shooting, and just before the second pandemic started, we finished what we wanted to do. So fortunately, we could do that. We still have a little portion remaining, so we'll see how we're going to do that. But yeah, we've just been planning too much, and we're also producing it with Z. So that's also another thing we're doing along with that. So yeah.
Another thing that really impressed me, Mr. Murthy's biopic that you are working on. What touched you about them that you said कि ये तो film बनाना चाहिए, and how did you approach them?
I've always been a big fan of Mr. Murthy and Mrs. Sudha Murthy because he's someone who dreamt big and thought of the unreachable. So that is something which I'm a big fan of him, and he gave a whole lot of Indians dream to think big. And I think each one of us would know someone who would be working in Infosys and has made it big in their own lives. At the same time, Mrs. Sudha Murthy is an icon in herself. She herself was one of the first women engineers in our country who tried to break protocols and make a mark for herself without making too much of noise. In her own humble way, she did that. And what I like about both of them is their simplicity towards life and their integrity and their ethos about how they want to function and their purpose of making a company. So that is what drove me. And when I got this opportunity, I just picked it up. But it was also a process because Mr. Murthy actually took an interview of mine. Like, I actually had an interview where he actually interviewed me, and he told me that, okay, Wikipedia says everything, so that's thanks to Wikipedia, at least I know something about you. But he took a proper interview in terms of everything, like asking me about the films, what do I do, what's my background like, and it was almost like going for a job interview, but with one of the biggest and most outstanding human beings of our country.
Oh my God, just the thought of it is, I'm shivering. Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Ashwiny.
So much, Abira.
Bye. Lovely talking to you. Bye.